So you want to know my life, unique story. Okay, let me tell you about my life's unique story. Went to college. None of the males made it out. It's 5 years later. There's been a couple, but I was the first. That was one of the biggest first challenges for me, to not let my mom down, to not let my sisters down, to be a role model. Lacrosse is my first love, my real, true love. I gave it up. I decided that making sure my academics were stronger than my wants, making sure my values were stronger than my desires, I had to pull that through, honestly. I had to have a purpose, and my purpose was beyond just me. It was always been bigger than me. I didn't even go to college for myself, so it was always bigger than me. Going through that process, basically break my back. This is the beginning when you start realizing why you should be self-reliant, right? You fast forward a little bit, I'm sitting at the kitchen table. This is about a year later after my back went. It all ended up being connected. Sitting at the kitchen table. My mom goes, we're talking, we're conversating, we're conversing, if you will. And I stand up from the table and then samurai. I'm telling you, movie style, my legs got chopped off and I dropped to the ground so hard. It was one of those moments where there was no pain, there was no nerve, just magically dropped to the ground. I looked at my mom's face and that was the scariest part. This is my life's unique story. This is the scariest part. I looked at her face and I saw the lack of hope for just a glimpse of a moment, but I caught it as a jolt to my heart because I know that my mother is strong enough to maintain her composure to make sure that we maintain the faith. And so to see that look in her face, even for just a half of a jolt, half of a glimpse, split second, I was terrified.
Say your back, you thought it was your back, and when you ever discovered the day I was cooking, you was in the kitchen, you were standing next to me 1 second, the next second you collapsed on the floor, and we found out that it was your knees that was giving you all the trouble and stuff, and I'm just so grateful that you didn't have to endure surgery, but you was able to rise above that, and now that you...
Little did I know, will have this for the rest of my life. That it wasn't something that I was gonna allow to break me forever and ever and ever. There was a point in time, there was a 6-month span that eventually was 8 months long, but for the first 6 months, I was completely depressed. Down and out. Crawling to the bathroom, sitting on the toilet just to urinate, leaning against the shower, lifting my legs up to get over the shower. I started to lose hope myself. It got more and more depressing.
All by itself, each day that you wake up, you could just automatically open your eyes and thank God for everything that you have gone through, because everything that we all go
bunch
through.
of Percocets, codeine, and I never took them. After that 6 months, I was like, you know what, P, you gotta get up, you gotta wake up. This is not you. Who cares what this doctor said and make a decision if you're gonna be active for the rest of your life, or do you want to be able to work for the rest of your life? I'm no slave to no one. You're not gonna tell me that I have a choice, only ultimatum. I've created my own path. What did you go to school for? You're a certified exercise physiologist. Wake up, P, fix yourself. And I did exactly that. There, icing my knees at my intern. I had to start taking those same pills just to go to work, using industrial size plastic bags of ice, going from customer to icing, customer to icing, customer to icing. This is my life's unique story. Eventually we found a way. Eventually an opportunity came. I was qualified for everything. I just needed to be able to walk. I wasn't able to walk yet, but I faked the funk. And I met with these people with the most painful grin on my face, and I made it happen. I showed up to work 3 hours early just to fix myself. I had to put the time in, I had to put the work in. This is one of my greatest life challenges, to go through and fix myself after everyone believed that I wasn't gonna walk. After every single one of these friends, nowhere to be found. Family members, nowhere to be found. Sources of income, nowhere to be found. Down on my last. I had to pick myself up. It's one of the reasons I learned that you need to be self-reliant. Eventually, yes, I fixed myself. I move up within the company, now we're at the top. Couldn't go any higher. We're making things happen. I had dreams. I realized that I'm the only one that's able to make my dreams come true. And working for anyone else will never allow you that. You'll never be granted the freedom, financial freedom, personal freedom, freedom within your career. You'll never have that autonomy working for another person. You're only gonna make that other person's dream come true. It'll never be for yourself. Boom, the company I love, put all my heart, all my soul into. These were no longer just clients, these were friends, these were family, showing up at their cookouts, knowing their kid's name. This is tough, but decisions had to be made. Eventually I was let go. It was asked to withdraw. I signed that dotted line. I had no plan. I had no plan, but I had morals. I had values. And as soon as things didn't line up with my morals, my beliefs, my values, I'm not able to put any of my effort in anymore. There would never be 100% if I don't believe in it. This is my life's unique story. If you stand for something, stand for it. Don't falter. Get back up. This is my life's unique story. All I wanted to do prior to 5 years ago was to make it to California. That's all I ever wanted. I just wanted to get to California. But I was dependent on other people to make that happen for me. I felt if I sat there and I put the work in, if I'm working 20 to 30 hours over my 40 mark, salary or not, I know I'm not getting paid more money, but I felt we got work to do. This person's gonna get me where I need to be. Nah, let's move on. Eventually, now I'm working for the #1 fitness in America. Who knew? That didn't last long either. And that's the final straw. I realized I'll never work for nobody ever again. After getting fired, I'm gonna make my own way. 4 days after that, booked my first flight. First time in California. I went to San Francisco. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I networked while I was there. Now, boom, 6 months later, I'm down in San Diego. I'm working for myself at this point in time. I'm figuring it out. Had $123 in my pocket when I left San Diego. And I'll tell you the real number. It took me $471 for 7 days for my stay, for my car, to drive up and down the coast, LA, just loving it. But it felt awesome. I felt like I belonged. I knew I needed to be here. I knew I needed to come back.
He's back.
2 months later, I came back, a little more change in my pocket, had to make it happen. Started my own company about this time, the Institute of Life. 3 months after that, I continued to grind. We did exactly what we said we was going to do. It took me a year to plan it, to make things happen. I said I was going on tour, we went on tour. In a 2-door car, completely packed up to the brim, driving by myself. Be self-reliant, people. This is my life story. I created my own speaking engagements. I funded my entire tour. No one paid me nothing. I tried to make grants happen. I tried to make things happen, but it wasn't. And I wasn't gonna let that stop me either. I listened to other people speak. I met other people on tour from Australia and Austin. I got hitchhikers of workshops that I'm going to, and they're driving with me, and I'm dropping them off at a home so that they can go fly out to New York the next morning. Incredible story. All for what? To make these dreams come true. Now I live in San Diego. I've been here for about 7 weeks. To say something and to make it come true. To have your values in line, in check. To maintain it with discipline, your rituals, your day-to-day tasks, writing it down, stimulating yourself, carving out your reality, creating a life by your design. It is possible, people. Why? Because I had $123 in my pocket with no source of income. If I didn't generate it out of my own pocket, it didn't come. And there's no job. Okay, we got over that. Support's leak. Okay, we got over that. Love in and out, we got over that. Stuck in a home, got out of that. How? Because I knew what I wanted. I knew where I wanted to go. And that's exactly what we're providing at the Institute of Life. We're just an instrument. We provide clarity. We provide action steps in order for you to hone your own skills, your talents, and to take that talent, that skill, and turn it into a profitable reality. And it ain't nothing special, people. We're not creating nothing new in the world. We're staying true to ourselves. It does require discipline. It does require hard work. But I learned that it doesn't just require hard work. You gotta have focus with that work. It does take some vision. It does take a mission. It does take some clarity. But once you get all that, if you could put in those 40 plus, you're working more than 40 hours, but you're getting paid for 40. That wasn't life for me. There was much more living. We drove from Connecticut to 9 cities to San Diego. It takes discipline, yes. It takes rituals that you abide by. But you know the best part? You abide by them. And we help you create that structure. The plan that works for you. That same day that I was asked to withdraw from my company, the one I put so much hard work, blood, sweat, tears in, 4 shots go off. If we look back, right in between us, he got hit. This wasn't the first one. And that's when the mantra was born, pull the trigger. And that's exactly what I did. 4 days later, I pulled the trigger. I was out in San Francisco. Look, this man's life was taken way too soon, way too early. And I don't know when mine is gonna go too. All I gotta do is make it 3,000 miles. I gotta get 3,000 miles. It didn't matter to me at that point in time if I ran or walked there. So I encourage you to pull the trigger, my friends. If you know what you wanna do, write that stuff down. Make a plan and execute. It's as simple as that. All you gotta do is show up and pull the trigger. That's it.